have come a long way from the Beijing Conference of 1985, and indeed a lot has changed. Despite men being the dominating gender in businesses, statistics show that a woman in Nigeria is 4 times as likely to be an entrepreneur than a woman in the United States. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, women own 30% of registered entrepreneurial businesses in Nigeria. Also, 41% of women in Nigeria are entrepreneurs. And while 42 of these women received loans from family and friends, only 2% of the 42 received from financial institutions. Besides her little capital, how can the struggling woman be helped to grow her business? What loans are available? And how easily accessible are these loans? Today on the Amazons, we are going to be learning and being taught how today's woman can get access to startup for small businesses, and even for those businesses that have grown, how they can become bigger. The space at the top, they say, is getting leaner. And today's world is very competitive. And if the woman must survive, we have to get access to that financial capital that men have access to in order to grow our businesses. You are welcome to the Amazons. I'm Aisha Falode. As usual, I have my co-anchors, the very beautiful, amiable Silo MM. Silo is a voiceover artist, and she's also an entrepreneur. She runs a restaurant, a big one in Surulere. And of course, my very good friend, the lawyer in the house. You are going to be giving us the legal backing.
I don't practice here.
London and United States strain, Omasan Buwa. Well, you heard the intro, women in Nigeria, 42% have their own businesses. Only 2% of these 42 have access to loan, have access to loan from financial institutions, those that will support your business. So how are we supposed to compete with the men if we do not have the access to the funds that we need to grow our business and have the startups?
In this day and age, so, when you said it, I had to, and I'm still shaking my head. Those statistics are appalling. It's like we're still in the dark ages. And keep in mind, women are the most thrifty. Women are the most, do everything, put 1 and 2 together, make sure that, the home is taken care of. So
more prudent, know how to turn money around.
We shouldn't be so emotional about this thing. Let's go back to the nitty-gritty of how women started starting up businesses in the first place. What was the reason why women started starting up businesses? From time immemorial, women started setting up business to augment the family. So they started with small-time businesses, sell something by the side, be a teacher so that you can have time for the children and all of that.
Anyway, what do we know? We are not experts. We are just talking from the top of our head. We have the experts on the Amazons today who will, come and tell us the nitty-gritty of how women can access loans for business startup and to grow those businesses that have been started up but can do bigger and better. You are watching the Amazons. Thank you, my beautiful audience. Welcome back to the Amazons, where today we are talking about how to help the Nigerian woman gain her space in the very lean space at the top for business startups and also growing already started up businesses, growing them bigger and making them better. We have been bantering, talking back and forth. I mean, as little as we understand of how to access loan. We are told 42% of Nigerian women are entrepreneurs. Only 2% of the 42 have access to loan from financial institutions. This is not this is not encouraging. But today, we have a woman who has not only started up a business or businesses, she has grown them to global and international recognition. Such women are and should be emulated. We have the founder of Terra Culture. She's also the producer, director of Waka and Saro the Musical. These are stage plays. And also the wave and rave of the moment movie. It's called 93 Days, the Ebola movies. Please welcome Bolanle Austin Peters.
Thanks. Thank you. Hi. Hi. Nice to see you.
Please have a seat.
Thank you.
I'm sure you heard most of our discussions backstage.
Yes,
Welcome
I did.
to the Amazons, where we have said that the business world is very competitive now, no doubt. The economic times are hard for every Nigerian, more so for the Nigerian woman. We are talking about how women can start up businesses, and those who already have, how they can make it bigger.
You know, we started Terra Culture 13 years ago, and like you were mentioning earlier, to start a business, it's not easy to get access to finance. That's a fact. So we started from getting funding from a bank.
Not from friends and family.
No.
Thank you.
I applied to Guarantee Trust Bank then.
Okay.
And there was a scheme by the federal government, small and micro scale enterprise loans. And it was under that I applied for a loan to start Terra Culture. A couple of years down the line, a decade later, I bought GT Bank out of our business. And now it's owned by myself and one or two other investors. And we founded another company called BAP Productions. That's a production arm of our business. So we were able to access loans or get funding for our productions because we had built a brand. You know, the 13 years of doing Terra Culture, or 10 years at that point, gave us the opportunity to be able to apply for loans going forward because we'd created a credible brand. But it takes a lot of hard work, and like she was also mentioning earlier, it's not easy to access loans. Yes. The truth of the matter is you have to provide a lot of supporting documents, you know. And truth be told, a lot of it is also done on personal recognizance. People feel they know you, they know your antecedents, they believe that you're coming from somewhere, you know. So there's a lot involved in accessing loans, let's be fair. And like she rightly pointed out, it's not very easy for women either because there's a sort of unwritten boys club out there.
Yes.
And we're not part of it.
You had this vision,
Yes.
and you went ahead and you pursued it.
Correct.
You know, I do go to Terra Culture, a lovely place to
Thank you.
relax. Also, by the way, you know, and to me, it strikes me as, oh, somebody had this vision to set up this, which is not a common thing in Nigeria. So when you had that vision then, my question is, did you know that it would grow to become, like you said, a brand? And did you know anybody approaching the bank?
Oh, no. I did not. I certainly did not know the managing director, Mr. Tayo Aderioku.
Yeah.
What I did was I put together a business plan. Now, more often than not, most people don't do that. You know, we have ideas and we just leave it in the idea stage. We need to actually sit down and articulate what we're thinking. And in doing that, you learn a lot about the business that you're planning to go into. Because you see all the flaws, you see all the areas that you really never thought about in terms of staffing, in terms of revenue generation. Because it was when we wrote the business plan that I recognized that if I had, because my focus initially was just on visual arts,
Okay.
and also the food.
Oh, really?
And the food was going to be just little knickknacks here and there. But by the time we did the business proposal, the experts, the bankers, they advised me and said, this business proposal needs to be tweaked. You need to have a viable, a sustainable revenue earning stream in all of your business. And that's why TerraCulture became multifaceted.
Okay.
So I went back and I thought about it and I asked myself, if we're promoting Nigerian identity, which is now the fad, 13 years ago nobody really believed in it. I said, what makes you a Nigerian? What makes you different? What makes a Chinese different from yourself or myself? It's their food, it's their art, it's their theater, it's their literature, and their, you know, all of those things. That's how I put the cultural elements together to form 5 business units. And you'll be surprised to know that it is the cuisine and the theater that supports TerraCulture.
Can you imagine?
Not the book.
Not the book.
This access to loan growing business, I still want to come back to it. You know, we have a lot of young ones in the audience. In fact, most of them are young. If a young graduate leaves school today, the first thing they are thinking about is paid employment.
True.
They want to go to paid employment. That's because they have not been taught. You know, we're talking about education here now. You schooled abroad. They prepare you for it's an all-round education. It's not all about reading, passing exams, and then going out of school. You are taught to think. You are taught to do things. You are taught to be an entrepreneur. You are taught to
Serious about internships.
exactly, internships and all of that. You know, people take time out of school to go and work.
To go a gap
you
year
know,
to
like
go
a
and
gap
work,
year
yeah.
and come back. How do you think we can also tap into that, you know, looking at our education now, how we can begin to imbibe such, you know, culture of educating people to think, educating people to know that when they leave school, they don't have to go to paid employment. They can set up small and then grow it from there.
The truth is, I mean, you all know we're all part of the Nigeria story. Our educational system is in trouble. That's the truth. So me sitting here or yourself, we can't solve that problem. And rightly or wrongly, the youths are being forced to become entrepreneurs because anyways, there are no jobs. If there were jobs, I would encourage everybody to work at least the first 2-3 years because there's certain things you get out of paid employment or being in an organized setting. The first thing is you learn discipline. You know, you get a lot of discipline by working with people who are disciplined. You get a lot of financial know-how. You know how to organize a business because a lot of Nigerian businesses, apparently the statistics is within the first 3 years, maybe 90% go belly up. So really, it's the truth. But when you work in an institution where there's financial discipline, and this is also what happens even up to political level, most of our people in government have no financial discipline.
You know, many people didn't really know how bad that Ebola thing was in this country until we watched 93.
Yes. It captured it.
It really captured it.
It captured it. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Amazons. We are still discussing the challenge of accessing loan for women in business. Joining us on set now is Ora Ataguba. She is the Vice President, African Women Entrepreneurship Program, Southwest. Ora Ataguba. Hello, Ora.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to Amazon.
Thank you.
Please have a seat. Thank you. Vice President of the Women in Business Entrepreneurship Program, Southwest.
African Women Entrepreneurship Program.
African Women Entrepreneurship Program, Southwest. Is that a non-governmental organization?
Yes, it is a non-governmental organization and it was set up by Hillary Clinton, you know, and this was specifically for women in business who would take advantage of the AGOA, you know. So you'll find amongst us a lot of women who are producers who want to export their products, you know, and also,
manufacturers,
yes, manufacturers and services as well, you know. So we're positioned to, you know, export the products that we have.
When it was set up, was it just set up for people who already have produced goods or services, or to help people kickstart their idea?
It was set up for women generally who had the passion to do something, you know, because you know that if you empower a woman, you empower the nation, you know, and so the woman becomes, you know, the focus for this kind of agenda. So, you know, even amongst us now, there are women who don't produce anything yet, you know, but they come into a group of women who are forward-looking and who have an intention. So a lot of them come up with new ideas. Sometimes people ask me that question, I'm not doing anything yet, or I'm not exporting. We even have people who are importing, you know. They come and join the group and they begin to find their feet, you know, when you're with a group of passionate women who have direction, you know, and because of the capacity building that we do and the information sharing. So there's a lot going on that you can learn from. You know, everyone needs a platform and a network.
If we're looking at entrepreneurship side by side, gender, opportunities for gender, are we, when I say winner, are the women at a disadvantage, or is it's just something that we have in our head that says, you know, we are disadvantaged, even though the opportunities are right round about us and we are just not looking far enough or deep enough to see those opportunities?
Read my lips. We are disadvantaged.
Thank you.
We are seriously disadvantaged. You know what it is here culturally, and you know what the issues are with collateral and all of that. You know, how do you grow your business if you can't have access to funding? So it is a major problem that needs to be addressed. You know, regardless of some institutions are making, you know, steps in the right direction to make this easier for women, but still the difficulty still exists.
This help and assistance that you give is tailored towards that grassroots woman who's in the village, you know, planting cassava, egusi, you know, is that your clientele, or is it like the big manufacturer of laces, or, you know, what?
No. We are grassroots.
Okay.
We are channeled towards the grassroots. And so, you know, it's a triangular kind of structure that we operate. Because if I am empowered, I would then empower the women who will produce for me.
Okay.
You know, at a certain level. So you find in AWEP, we have all kinds of programs that take us international, you know. So those kinds of conferences and B2B meetings and things like that help us to get out into the international world, you know. And when we do that, it trickles down to the producers of our products. In cases where the language is a problem, we use a translator, you know, and things like that. But the important thing is that they are linked to us. The Chinese people come here and do business. They don't speak English.
Not a word.
You know what I mean? But as long as you have a partner in us that can help to get your goods out, you know, that's it.
Thank you so very much, Aura, for being a part of the program today. And I hope that our audience, you've learned one or two things for being on how to start up your business. But remember, Bolanle told us that you really, it is good for you to have experience, you know, first before thinking of startups. Thank you so much, Aura. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Amazons, where today we are still talking and discussing, you know, accessing loans for women in small businesses and entrepreneurship for women, how to help women get access to funds to grow their business and for startups. We've spoken with a women organization, we've spoken with a business owner, and now we are going to be talking to where to get the money from. The people to give us the money and support women in their business. We have a MD of a microfinance bank is joining us on set. Please welcome Mr. Joshua Akute. You're welcome to Amazon. Please have a seat.
Welcome, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. We've been talking about, where to find the money to help women to support their business and also for startups. A microfinance bank is giving loans. Is that what the bank is all about? Giving loans, or what is a microfinance bank?
A microfinance bank entails the provision of financial services to the clients, which include, like you said, access to finance, savings, and other financial services. It's not just about giving loans. If I may break it down, it includes gathering savings, doing remittances, and also giving loans.
I want to ask, you said microfinances banks are set up, targeting rather the grassroots people.
Yeah.
No particular sex in mind, just people in general, or women?
Men and women.
Okay.
Men and women. But if you look at the grassroots, we're talking about families here, talking about homes here. And usually, if we're talking about families and homes, the role of the woman is paramount in that, in families and in homes. But both male and female are customers of microfinance banks.
Are you saying indirectly that you have more female customers?
Yes, yes.
You hesitated a bit there, but
No, we have more female customers than male customers.
Okay, even at that, often women with good business and profitable ideas find it extremely difficult to access loans from establishments like yours. Even when you say you have more women customers, how do you support the women? If they still find it extremely difficult, even though they are more of your customers than the men, how do you support them?
Well, statistics have shown that, quoting the Global Findex report 2014, shows that women access to formal financial services, that is in terms of getting loans from formal financial services, about 4%. And if you look at it vis-a-vis other countries like Kenya, South Africa, and Ghana, you see Nigeria has the lowest. 4% of adult women borrow from formal financial services. It's not like the funds are not there for them, but there are a lot of factors that come to play here. And some of these factors can be, one, information. Two, there's this collateral myth about accessing loans. People always think that I must have a tangible collateral before I can approach a microfinance bank. Then three, we have some cultural effects too. The man will tell the woman, hey, sit down there, what do you need money for? I'll go get the money for you. Yeah. So these are some of the factors that affect them. So it's not that the funds are not available. The funds are available. Products are well thought out and planned, but accessing the product by the women is what is challenging.
So are you saying that they don't need tangible collateral? Then what do they, are you implying that?
That is one of the essence of setting up a microfinance bank.
Okay.
For the woman in the rural village who is selling pepper, what tangible collateral can she give you?
Yes.
What she has that is tangible to her, that is of utmost importance to her, is one, her name, her family name, and integrity. That is what is of utmost importance to her. So we as microfinance banks ought to leverage on this in granting credit to such people.
Thank you so much, my audience. You have been wonderful. Thank you again, Mr. Joshua, my co-Amazons, Omasan and Sulu. Go and grow your business. So until we see you again next time, that has been the program. Stay well and God bless. Bye-bye.